Hello, I'm Kimberly, and welcome to the weekend edition of the Native News Update. It's Friday, August 8th, and many of the stories you'll hear here can be found at IndianCountryTV. And here's the news for the day from the Associated Press and other Native news sources. Following the brutal slaying of 2 homeless Navajo men, Albuquerque Mayor Richard Berry says he is forming a task force to address chronic homelessness among Native Americans in New Mexico's largest city. Berry met with Navajo Nation President Ben Shelley and other tribal leaders last week. He says data the city has collected as part of its efforts to fight homelessness shows Native Americans are on the streets longer than other populations and more likely to be victimized. He says he and Shelley have agreed to work together to figure out why and find solutions. And he says he will also reach out to other tribes as well. Wisconsin's 11 American Indian tribes won't appoint a representative to a state mining board. The 7-member Mining Investment and Local Impact Fund Board has representatives from the mining area, including Iron, Forest, and Bayfield counties. Members will decide how local communities should be reimbursed for the mining industry's impact. Great Lakes Intertribal Council Mike Allen tells Wisconsin Public Radio it's voted against sending a representative to the board. Allen says the council wants federal regulators involved to assess the damage the mine will do to tribal and state land. The Bad River Band of Lake Superior Ojibwe stand to take the brunt impact from what would be the largest iron ore mine in North America. Tribal Chairman Mike Wiggins says Native American leaders must protect the air and water and the ability to hunt, fish, and gather. The WNBA's Atlanta Dream made its lone 2014 appearance in Oklahoma on July 31st when it took on the Tulsa Shock. Among the players on the Dream's roster is rookie guard Shoni Schimmel, a member of the Confederated Tribes of the Umatilla and the highest drafted Native American in WNBA history. The nearly 7,000 fans present got to see a league first when Schimmel and second-year Shock guard Angel Goodrich, a citizen of the Cherokee Nation, came in midway through the first quarter to mark the first time that 2 Native Americans were simultaneously on the court in a WNBA game. Thanks to a late fourth quarter run, Atlanta held on to defeat the Shock 85-75. Then the next day, in partnership with the Osage Nation Education Department, Shoni, along with her parents and her sister, University of Louisville senior guard Jude, hosted a basketball clinic and autograph session at the Skiatook Multi-Purpose Activity Center for 100 Osage children in grades 3 to 12. Before hitting the courts, participants watched 2 brief videos about the Schimmel sisters and listened to remarks from the family about their efforts to succeed on and off the court. The tribe that owns WNBA's Mohegan Sun said it has acquired the Philadelphia Wings, a member of the National Lacrosse League. The Wings are relocating to Uncasville, which will be their home field come December when its 18-game regular season begins. The team will be renamed at a later date. The Wings are the Mohegan tribe's second pro sports team. It has owned the Connecticut Sun WNBA franchise since 2003. Mohegan said lacrosse has its roots with Eastern Woodland Indians and said the deal makes it the second ownership group of Native American descent in the National Lacrosse League. Nebraska's U.S. Senators have joined the efforts to seek federal recognition for the trail the Ponca tribe took during a forced march more than 135 years ago. U.S. Senators Mike Johanns and Deb Fishers introduced legislation calling on the Interior Department to determine the feasibility of creating a Chief Standing Bear National Historic Trail. The legislation is similar to a bill that Representative Jeff Fortenberry introduced in the House this past July. The route taken in 1877 runs from the Niobrara River in Nebraska to near what now is Ponca City, Oklahoma, and back to the Omaha site of the 1879 trial of Chief Standing Bear. The chief and his tribe became the first Native Americans to be recognized as people under the law in the federal court decision. And that's another roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. I'd like to thank you for joining me and have a grand day.